Six types of gifted students. The successful. This type of gifted student is well adjusted to society with a high self concept. They are obedient, display appropriate behavior, and are high achievers. Therefore, they are loved by parents and teachers. However, they can also get bored at school because they learn the system fast enough with minimal effort. Nevertheless, they will deprive their giftedness of being creative, imaginative, and they will present lack of autonomy because they want to please and to make sure they will fit into society. They have learned to repress the creativity and innovative part of themselves, the part that would help them stand out from a crowd of other high achievers. It is important to remind these children that it's okay to be different and that great failures often precede great success. They can be immobilized with fear when they face any failure. They will stop trying. They will suffer for it later when they are thinking of the situation that they just faced. Teachers should not praise accomplishments that are earned with ease. We should praise their learning process and the challenge they overcome. That way, we will provide opportunities to build resilience, which is important for their success and their lives. The challenging. This type of gifted students possess high levels of creativity. They usually don't like to conform to the systems and often have conflicts with teachers and parents. They get frustrated because the school system does not recognize their abilities. They may be disruptive in the classroom and often they can possess negative self concepts. On the other hand, they have the great creativity skills. Nevertheless, this is the type of gifted students that can be at risk of dropping out of school for unhealthy activities like getting involved in drugs or exhibiting delinquent behavior. In the classroom, they will often make connections and come to conclusions that challenge the norm and the teacher. They are often seen as a case for disciplinary action rather than for support. They know they are different and they know they can be helped. It is your job as a teacher to make sure they receive as much acknowledgement and acceptance as possible. Furthermore, we have to make sure these students have room to explore and express themselves. In addition, we should try not to judge their creative expressions and keep in mind that we should provide feedback about their projects only when they are asking for. The underground. This type of gifted student tends to deny his or her talents or hide their giftedness in order to feel more included with their peers. They are usually females who are insecure and anxious with a need to be included in their group. Their changing needs often conflicts with the expectations of their parents and teachers. These students appear to benefit from being accepted as they are. Fitting into a group and being part of it may feel more important to these students than expressing their full amount of intelligence or curiosity. They may be coping with feelings of exclusion at school. It is important for these students to have meaningful friendship with someone who they can trust and feel comfortable to share their thoughts, so they will not feel excluded at school. That's why we should provide opportunities for the students to interact with each other in a meaningful way. Increasing their relationship with other students will help them to feel like they are part of the group. Furthermore, it is also important that they pass this phase that they need to go through in order to know themselves socially. While it is also important for the teachers to provide the appropriate challenges to help them to live up to their full potential. The dropouts. This type of gifted students often show feelings of anger and frustration. They are students whose needs have not been recognized and they feel rejected in the school system. They express themselves by being depressed or withdrawn and responding defensively. They are identified very late, therefore, they are bitter and resentful due to feelings of being neglected, and they also have a very low self esteem. For these students, counseling often is highly recommended. Furthermore, teachers should help these students learn how to use, redirect, and express their anger in a healthy way. If the student is very anxious, they probably you need a break and we need to help them learn how to self-soothe and regulate their own emotional state. When they feel ready to return, we could try to do something creative in an attempt to release their angry energy. We also can ask them to write their feelings and thoughts in a journal where they can choose to write in a form of a prose, pictures, or other form. More than anything, we should try not to judge or invalidate our students' experience. They are angry and they feel justified in that anger. We should demonstrate empathy by showing our students that we take their emotions seriously. However, to deal with a student's anger is a very difficult task. Therefore, if it is possible and if it is necessary, we should try to find help from support people such as counselors, therapists, coaches, etc. The twice exceptional. This type of gifted students may have physical, emotional problems or have a learning disability. They do not show behaviors of giftedness that can easily be identified in school. On the other hand, they show signs of stress, frustration, rejection, helplessness, or isolation. They are also impatient, critical, and they present a low self-esteem. These students are easily ignored because they are seen as an average student. It seems to be easy to focus more on their weaknesses that would probably result to fail in nurturing their strengths. No matter how gifted they are, some things are hard for them. It could be a difference in a social thinking like Asperger's, a disability like dyslexia, anxiety, or ADHD traits, or even a depression. Any of these aspects could have other challenging implications. As a teacher, we should engage them in their areas of strength while gently encouraging other skills to develop where they are falling behind. It is also important to discuss with the students about their strengths and challenges. One of the main benefits of it is the understanding of self and others. Furthermore, the benefit of a student's self-understanding and the understanding of their abilities also will help them and us to gather resources to meet their needs. The gifted students need to know what makes them unique. It is a challenge to create lessons for them to address both sides of exceptionalities, which could stretch them in the areas that they need to grow. The autonomous learner. This type of gifted student has learned how to make the school system work to their benefit. They are very successful, liked by parents, teachers, and peers, and have a high self-concept. They also have some leadership capacity. and they accept themselves. They are risk takers, which is a plus for their independent and self directed nature. In addition, they are also able to express easily their feelings, goals, and needs appropriately. These students are not a passive acceptor. On the other hand, they know better how to dismiss suggestions or knowledge with strong critical thinking. When they find that they don't have the autonomy they need, they can become depressed, angry, rebellious, or bored. I have no doubt that we as a teacher are working with the idea in our mind that every student should be learning how to be autonomous and successful in their own way. But it is important to understand the difference between an autonomous student and a successful one. It could be helpful if we could take a look at how they internalize their challenges. Maybe some teachers will look at an autonomous gifted child and think that they can learn by themselves, and the teacher could focus on the other student with bigger issues. However, they need our help for them to remain optimistic in their self actualization. We have to think that our students want to show what they know. Maybe they want to make an assignment in a different way using their deepest ideas, or they want to create a different way to demonstrate what they have learned. That does not mean that the original assignment wasn't right. This means that our gifted students can add to that, resulting from a product of their own ideas. These students are learning how they learn, and that is very important for their full development. However, they can't do it alone. They need our support to foster that process.